Hello everyone, thanks for coming back to watch another one of our family adventure videos. This one took place about a year ago and is part of our trip to Big Bend National Park. In this particular video, we attempt the infamous Black Gap Trail.
Okay, we are on Old River Road on the west end, about to begin one of our first long backcountry runs. Our goal is to be at Elephant Tusk tonight. That's the campground on Black Gap. So we are going to attempt Black Gap in a PreRunner rear wheel drive with a locker. You can see it here in the background. That's what we're going with, old Bessie May. This could be a horrible decision, or it could be, a lot of fun. We're gonna find out. I'm a little nervous. I'm about to air down my tires. You can see that for the first time ever. So I'm gonna go figure that out while Kyla makes us a little bit of lunch. And then we're gonna go do this thing. Bye. Okay, this is it. We're gonna do this in two parts. We are going to attempt to drive Black Gap Road in a two-wheel drive PreRunner Tacoma 2003. We've got a campsite somewhere out there, so it's very important that we make it to that or we're screwed. So you'll see part of this on this drive, and then we will pick it back up in the morning, assuming we don't die. I believe it can be done. Four-wheel drive, schmore-wheel schmive.
We really wanted to see what a rear-wheel drive PreRunner could do and whether or not this truck was a potential long-term family vehicle for us. So we chose Black Gap as kind of our starting point in pushing the vehicle and learning how to off-road and seeing what we could do. Because of that, we chose to camp at Elephant Tusk, which is the only campsite on Black Gap. That kind of planned our course for us. We ended up starting at River Road out in the southwest area and then taking that to connect to the southern terminus of Black Gap. Because of that, we ended up running it south to north, which is not the most conventional way to do it. Most people run it north to south because of the infamous Black Gap obstacle that you see in all the videos. They want to attempt it head on. Us going south to north ended up being a bit of a blessing because of the type of vehicle we are in and because we are very much so beginners in this video and quite nervous the whole trip. As you can see, the southern portion of Black Gap is really quite tame. There's nothing challenging on this portion of the trail at all. We never had to use the rear locker, never really struggled at all to drive it. And it's a pretty significant chunk of the southern part of the trail, ultimately ending our day at the campsite. You can see some photos of our setup. You can see Elephant Tusk in the video. And while our campsite isn't remotely close to it, it does have a stunning view of the formation. This was our third night using this setup and enjoying our rooftop tent, which has been worth every penny. Day two on the trail was definitely the harder section. Leaving the campsite, things started off nice and easy, but a mile or so in, you definitely start hitting the real obstacles. As always, the camera does not really show what you're looking at or what we're driving. And keep in mind, you're looking at a couple of noobs driving a rear wheel drive truck in the middle of nowhere.
As I'm looking at it now, I'm kind of grateful we're going this way instead of coming that way.
Yeah. This drop is as tall as our toddler.
So, figure out a good angle to catch this, and I'm gonna let gravity pull me down. Woo! Holy.
Very nice.
To give you some perspective, this is a still shot of the Black Gap obstacle. We were fortunate, since coming south to north, that we just had to let gravity do its job. You can roll anything off of anything. I was very grateful when we got to it that we were heading in the direction that we were. You can imagine going up this in the other direction with just a rear wheel drive truck would be pretty intimidating. And while I do think it could do it, I was just too nervous and relieved that we had gotten past it to turn around and give it a shot.
Can't go sideways. Ooh. What's underneath us?
Little dip.
It's not that. I should have had you out filming all of this, but I didn't want to stop.
Let's see where we came from. Road.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, this one. So right on that ledge, you can't go to the side at all.
I'm at the ledge.
Well, if you go, I'm going too.
I know,
So
but
that's-
just saying, I was like, yeah.
I'm keenly aware of that ledge.
You gotta stop and flag. Let's take a picture. Whenever you get up here, and it's flat. Back.
ABS. Hope that's not a bad thing. I turned off. Okay, so there's something with the wrong.
This is the face of elation on a 40-year-old man. Months and months of planning, weeks and weeks of nervousness, anxiety, stress, hours and hours and hours of extreme anxiety, wondering if we were going to be able to do this, wondering if we had just made a horrible decision, hours of driving the trail, nervous about every bump, every squeak, every odd sound, all coming to a head, wondering if we could get out of this trail, successfully drive this trail, actually have a great, safe trip in this truck, was all coming to a head in this video. I'm pointing to Black Gap for reference. This is after the climb that we just saw, where you could hear me quite nervous, quite scared, quite tense because of what we were driving up in a rear-wheel drive vehicle and the drop-off that would pop up on the side periodically. Getting to the top, or almost to the top as this picture shows, felt amazing.
Because that campsite was like my second one. I couldn't get elephant test. That's what I was going to go for.
Wooden sign up here.
Okay. And here's the intersection. This makes
This is an
Wow,
intersection.
no.
Why do you speak so fast? Didn't see
It
that.
looked like it. It's just that 4x4 clearance. It looked like the road might have been.
Here's the sign. This looks a lot more realistic. I've seen the videos.
As you can see, we made it. We successfully drove the famous Jeep Honor Trail Black Gap in a rear-wheel drive Tacoma. We wanted to see what could be done with this little truck, and we set out to find out. So what's the moral of this story? First, I would say just because someone says it can't be done does not necessarily mean it can't be done. We were told repeatedly that a rear-wheel drive truck cannot be an off-road vehicle. It cannot be a family adventure vehicle. And we have proven that that is not true. If you have a truck like this, you can go and see and do amazing things. Secondly, I would say that as with most fears I am learning in life, the bark is often far worse than the bite. I spent hours stressing about this, worried about what's going to happen as we drive this trail. Is the truck going to get stuck? Is it going to break down? On and on and on. And it turned out none of it was even remotely close to true. It was a very fun ride. Just drove about 60 miles in the backcountry and never had one blip, not one problem, nothing. And it turned out to be an amazing time. And none of those fears even came remotely close to coming true. Lastly, I would say take risks. We really wanted to drive this. We wanted to see what this trail was like. We wanted to see this national park. And this is the vehicle that we had. Yes, we did our due diligence. We did as much research as we could. We equipped the truck as much as possible to ensure our safety and our success. But at the end of the day, we had to load up, drive that 14-hour drive, and just go find out what was down there and what we could do. And it was worth every second. Thank you for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it encourages you to get out and take that next adventure.